Just conducting. I was just conducting a little experiment with the algorithm right there. I might have learned something. We got Prince Divine, and DeBar. DeBar, what do you think is Farrakhan's chances of winning his anti-defamation case? What do you think What do you think is the odds that what do you think is the odds that he wins? Are you just now hearing about this? So Farrakhan is suing the Anti-Defamation League for defamation. He's upset that they labeled him anti-Semitic. Luke Cage. So yeah, he's suing them for labeling him anti-Semitic. What do you think is the chances? Did I leave out that it's for $5 billion? I don't know if that makes a difference or not, but yeah, it's for $5 billion. He said the odds would depend on the number of homies he has on the other side and perhaps quotes from the many speeches he has given. Well, I think, hold on, let me see something. Okay, now this is you gotta take this I don't know, but let's go with the Orlando Sentinel. Here we go here, ladies and gentlemen. And how is this? I just get on my screen. Oh, they want you to subscribe or something. Let's go to, I guess you have to subscribe here. But they have some other places. Let's see. This is I don't know how. This is the Jewish news of Northern California here. I don't know if y'all can see that right there on the screen. Brad Klein claims his father may have been a Jew. Just saying, I mean, there's that. I don't know if y'all was taking that into consideration. I don't know if y'all was taking that into consideration. West Coast Wise, are you aware of this news right here on the screen? The Jeff Valentine is apparently suing the Anti-Defamation League. He's suing the Anti-Defamation League for labeling him anti-Semitic. So there's that. You know, I got some news though too. Some Wise, you might be interested in this. You might be interested in this. This is let me see if I can put the link in here. This is kind of a long article. But let's see. This woman here. Lucy Calkins. Have you ever heard of this woman? West Coast Wise. Let me see if I can get this. Yo. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can get this link into the chat right here. So I don't know, Wise, I don't know, you may yourself have learned this way. Hold on, let me get the link here. So this lady right here is apparently the reason why they don't teach phonics anymore. Did you learn phonics when you learned to read? What just happened to my... See what happened? Put something up about the wrong kind of people or something. Yeah, I said so. I said so. I wasn't saying. It said something I wasn't supposed to say right here. So Waj, you learn phonics, right? But did you know that they don't teach phonics anymore? I first noticed it in the 90s. I first noticed it in the 90s that they was teaching something called reading on sight or something, like where you were supposed to just look at the word and kind of recognize it like a hieroglyphic, like a picture. And see, my oldest son had learned phonics in the house. So, he's just not, he's the type of person, he's not really trainable like that. So, so you know about the sight words. Okay, so your children, this lady right here, you're saying your children's learning the sight words. This lady right here apparently developed the idea. Like it may have existed a little bit before her. Like if you read into this article, it existed a little bit before her. But she's the one who developed it. And apparently in New York, for New York City, Mayor Michael Bloomberg was, he was an advocate of this style of teaching. So he brought this into the New York City schools. So I don't know if it's all over the country. No, phonics is not A is for apple. Phonics is the sound. Like when you learn that A is for a or a, right? P is p, right? L is l. So when you can sound out words, you know what I'm saying? When you learn the consonant clusters, like CH is ch, STR is str. When those, that's phonics. So you can sound out any word. That's the way we used to learn before it was all these, we had tests. We had the standardized tests and everything, but it wasn't the way it is now. Like when you took the test, you just got what you got. You know what I'm saying? It did affect you. Some people pick when I'm on the live to win contact. But they changed this method, and it's had disastrous effects. How many more times I just told you? So if you got school age children, you know what I'm saying? I would check this article out. You know what I'm saying? Because see, these people, right? They have degrees in all types of BS. But see, I'm gonna tell you something. Ain't nothing wrong with the way learning was going on. You got that information. Where people want to figure out all these new ways that you can teach, ain't nothing wrong with the old way. You just ain't doing it. They was people made out of something different now. Where they, what is the difference between? Because everybody like to say we equality, because everything is equality. Once you got the knowledge, then we all supposed to be one and the same, right? So what's wrong with the old way we was learning? But you got these people, they sit in the room with each other and they come up with this idea. It's like, yeah, kids will learn good if you do this right here. But you didn't teach one kid with that. But yeah, you got to watch these people. This is what they doing with reading. We don't know what they doing with math and science. See, it's like when somebody asked that yesterday, and he was talking about the people back in the redlining time. See, that's what's interesting about this article for me, right? I knew there was somebody behind that shit. But, if you look at this article and you see that as they starting to institute this, I'm one of the first parents that's dealing with it. So I know it's some bullshit in the game, but I don't know what it is yet. I don't know where it's coming from. It's coming from this lady. Right, the bar said the new way of calculating math. Now look, I ran into that with my nephew. Where I looked at his homework and the whole thing is like wrong or something. So, I'm showing him like, yo, and then he's like, yeah, nah, but you're not supposed to do it like that. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, if I do it like that, the teacher's gonna mark it wrong. Wait, what? And then my sister comes and she's like, yeah, my sister was telling me that she's banned from helping him with his homework. Yo, my sister is banned from helping him with his homework because she only knows the old math. And you know what used to be funny? Back in the days, right? When your parents used to check your homework and you get something wrong, they used to always make that joke. They just say, this must be that new math or something. This. And listen, I go to I go to help this guy with his homework, and it's really new math. That's but if you got school age children, man, yeah, you gotta be a little more hyper vigilant, right? Because it's not only have they picked up these inefficient ways of teaching what they're supposed to teach, right? They've become very efficient at teaching things that we don't even want them exposed to. You said Gracie's Corner is what my younger daughters are learning. Okay, so what's Gracie's Corner? What's this? I don't have elementary no more right now. Who's Gracie? See, I don't know if I like Gracie already. West Coast, divine understanding. I'm trying to figure out who's Gracie and what is Gracie's coin. You see, I can tell you right now why I don't like Gracie, right? You see, now Gracie is a personality. You see, if they can use Gracie to introduce this stuff to children, right? Then they can, Gracie starts to come in under the critical thinking threshold. You understand what I'm saying? They familiarize you, the energy is that way. You understand what I mean? As you become more and more familiar with this character, right? Or this person, your threshold Okay, so here we go. Gracie's Corner is a YouTube channel for kids. It provides a combination of educational, fun, and encouraging songs for children from diverse backgrounds. Yeah, see that diverse backgrounds. Can watch that. The series was created by father and daughter duo Dr. Javoris Hollingsworth and Gracine Hollingsworth, in hopes to create a space for Black creators to be seen on and off screen. Yeah, I mean, now there's definitely some positivity that I'm hearing there. You know what I mean? I don't want to leave that out. But see, I'm big on, we gotta teach knowledge and wisdom. You know what I'm saying? Once you start to get introduced to these kinds of people like that and their characters, now you're getting exposed to their understanding. Which don't necessarily have to be wrong. But I just rather leave that door closed. In the modern times, that's what it is too. In this present environment. And you know what's crazy? Is that that's the perfect segue. It's always somebody that comes up with the perfect segue into, well, they were made blind, deaf, and dumb by the devil when they were babies. You see, that's exactly where we was going right there. See, that's how you become used land and not useful land. Not really useful for much. See, that's when you take it to the 1 and 10. When you take it to the 1 and 14, what do you see over there? Anybody was today in the 1 and 14? I mean, we know it's no 24th degree, but what's the equality degree in the 1 and 14? Any of the great scholars of the Random Jews Network. Yeah, I know it's the equality degree. What's the right? Why does the devil teach and keep our people illiterate? So that he can use them. So are you useful land or just use land? Right? Because when you take it to the 1 and 40, then what's that degree? Great scholars of the Random Jews Network here. See, that's good. We only got a few people in here today. You know what I should do, right? I should put it on private. Like after we go through signs and we put it on private, that's how you gotta do. See, if it was up to me, I wouldn't tell nobody with the knowledge now. Well, certainly someone in here knows today's degree in 140. There must be some kind of lag time going on because people still quoting today's degree in 114, which is good. But we're showing how this whole thing comes together right now. See, when you get into the 140, see now you start getting back to the root of this thing. That was the question somebody asked me the other day. We're gonna explore that too. Going into this topic made me think of that. He said, if the devil He said, Yakub didn't build prison houses for his people. Then who did he build them for? Is that person in here? Is that about what you asked? Right. What was his idea of making them? So see, in all those other degrees, it's just telling you how they get people caught up in that original idea. Those are the different levels of it. Right? He starts off by making them blind, deaf, and dumb to who they are when they babies. And then through like these methods, what I'm saying, he's controlling the education of the people, right? Not just academically, right? Socially, in all the different subjects that one could possibly be educated in. Right? He keeps them blind to themselves. And see, in the 1 to 10, right? What is the equality degree? What is the equality degree asking? See, because we're gonna listen, I'm gonna show y'all. See, I'm showing y'all right now. Look, this is how I do my show me how to do it. This is, did I say the 1 to 36? I meant the 1 to 10, true. So the 1 to 10. And what is the exact square miles of useful land that is used every day by the total population of planet Earth? So that's what I'm saying. Are you the useful or the used? Are you the useful or the used? You see, now it's talking about everybody. Everybody's in the mix. Are you doing the using or are you the used? Let's take it to the actual facts. Where we going when we get to the equality degree and the actual facts? Anyone can answer that. West Coast, you came back right in time to answer the question of what is today's degree in actual fact. Deserts cover 14 million square miles. And what is the outstanding feature of the desert? Anyone? Bueller? It's grains of sand that can be useful or remain unused. Well, look, it was useful. It depends on what you want to use it for. You know, when we needed to run the devil away, the desert was good. So West Coast Wise here says lack of water, no wisdom. No wisdom. You haven't been exposed to wisdom and you don't have wisdom. So now, will you be used or useful? Right? Now, 14 million square miles. Right? We're gonna make a little jump here for the new people. For the new people, right? We're gonna make a little jump here, right? 14 million square miles, right? Does anybody see here that this 14 million square miles is, one way of breaking it down here is you got the 14 and then you got 6 zeros. Now we probably don't, everybody should be, those 6 zeros, that should roll right in for you, right? But that 14, let's take that to the 14th degree in the 140. What's that degree? West Coast Wise, Mr. Late for class. Who is the 85%? So do you see now how we've come full circle? You see what we did there? How we came from, well, they were made blind, deaf, and dumb by the devil when they was babies, and then we walked that through all of the degrees there. Did I go too fast? Do we need to go back? Or does everyone have that? Double Edge. Welcome to the live stream. Y'all don't know the new people. Double Edge is he's a new character here on the Random Jewels Network. You kind of missed the at least the first run. A lot of times we end up going back over whatever we learned. But yeah, you missed the first run right there. But to any of the newer people, right? Did you learn anything there, right, about referencing these lessons, right, to see some greater meaning? Did any of the newer people, did you catch that? How we we just stayed right into today's degree, right into the end, right? We said we was the 85%, but all the rest of it, we just stayed right in today's degree and gain understanding of all those degrees. But Double Edge, I'm waiting on, I'm sure you got something you've been waiting to share with the class. You always do. In fact, Double Edge, we was thinking about that. We asked that question. Double Edge, what do you think is Farrakhan's chances of winning his anti-defamation case? $5 billion. Freedom culture. Phil G. Double Edge, once he came on and went out real quick. See, Phil G, that's what I'm saying. See, a lot of people, y'all probably need to do a 7, 9, 30. I don't know what you think. What you think, DeBar? I think I should take this down. Like when we finish here, that's it. You have to be there. Phil G said, I think his chances are high. The scholarship is flawless in his cipher. So Double S said, I'm rooting for him to win. Not sure how it's going to go down. I say 50-50. West Coast Wise said, I was taught by Lord just to break down my mathematics and apply it to 120. Example, knowledge, born equality, which is understand equality in 140. Wait, what? King Math. So Phil G, you said the scholarship is flawless in the cipher. I mean, first of all, what's the scholarship that we're speaking on, right? Darkim Infinite Love from Kingsbridge. Davidson Avenue. Get out of here. This guy come out to woodwork, man. This brother right here, back in those ancient times, man. This brother right here used to be around. That was what? Was that was the early 90s. And his brother used to go to his old herb, had a restaurant. We used to go there. We used to go there, eat 5-course meals and shit. But back to what is the scholarship, right? And you know, exactly how is the scholarship, uh, how's it going to affect his case? Because, I mean, he's made some remarks that, in the world right now, people is kind of sensitive. And Phil G, another question. What's going on with the what happens if he loses? He just don't win he just don't win the $5 billion. He's suing for $5 billion. I mean, I guess unless they countersue or something. But now it's just a civil suit from what I understand at the moment. $5 billion, yeah, that's quite. I mean, if he does win, I don't know if he gets awarded the whole $5 billion. I mean, it's not that you haven't been paying attention, it's that right now there's so much distraction. You know what I'm saying? There's so many things like, just like, what's going on over there in the Middle East, you know, uh, it can kind of distract you from what's going on right here. Not taking nothing away from the impact of, bombs and all that dropping. That's a different world. But I'm just saying that, it can get real right here, you know. So Phil G said, True Islam Scholarship for One on the History of Jews, Bible, Quran, and African Studies, and how it connects our people to the term Semitic. How is this going to? The second question was, how is this going to help him in his case? Because he's gonna have to go in. He's gonna have to go in. I mean, I tell you this much. If Johnny Cochran was still alive, I'd give him better chances. If he had Johnny Cochran, my confidence would be a little bit higher. I don't know. I'm saying, because when you go through the history of the Jews, the Bible, and the Quran, and all of this, right? Just speaking legally, right? I don't know if that necessarily means like you can prove whatever you want to prove about that, right? Is it going to change this group of people that's saying that you are anti-Semite? West Coast Wise said they've been after him for decades, so that means they could have caused him speaking engagements and could have made him lose business or contacts. That $5 billion is a lot, but you can make it there. I mean, he still has those statements, though. That's what I'm saying. See, for me, it's this. This is what I'm saying. Like, look, you are who you are. That's who you've been. So they called you names. Who's the giant killer? West Coast said Farrakhan better get the giant killer. Need Johnny Cochran. Double S said, I think this will explode. This will expose a lot of what's going on in the Middle East since they've been assassinating his character. G said they use the Bible as basis of truth, so the Bible has to be relevant. I think he has a chance to use their foundation against them. Uh, I'm saying in the court, you saying they're going to use the Bible as the basis of truth? So you said, oh, West Coast Wild said that the giant killer is the dude that sued Disney for billions. He's one of the wealthiest lawyers in the world. I just watched a movie about him yesterday. Hmm. Is that David Boyce? So you say because they make you put your hand on the Bible to swear to tell the truth. Willie Gray is his name. All right, yeah, I heard this name before. Uh, so I'm saying, can you? Uh, I mean, so if he came with the Bible, right? So what you're saying is that his defense, Phil Jesus, I'm asking, right? I'm asking if this is what you're saying, that his defense is that he can't be anti-Semitic because they're not Semites. Is that what you're saying? And this is another question, but just I wanted to know if you might have known how come it didn't seem that there was more support for the Elijah Muhammad street naming. So West Coast said it's going to get ugly if he makes that statement. So Phil G, you said they stole the legacy. So now look, we just saying we just war gaming. We just war gaming. You know, we this is way out. We in the land of speculation here, right? But we just war gaming, right? Now what they're gonna do is they're gonna come out with the DNA tests that say that the DNA tests say that their lineage is connected to the Middle East. It's Afro-Asiatic and Semitic, according to the dictionary. So Afro-Asiatic peoples are the ones you're saying those that's who should be considered Semites. What was it? Oh, you thought it was no, Farrakhan's doing the suing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you know, there's some things that you say, some things that, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it is. Like, if the Christians right now call me a heathen, you know what I mean? Just said, would useful land be considered the best part, used land the poor part, and useless land the worst part? Um, yeah, I can see that. You know, you just draw that all the way up, so that everybody, uh, can understand it. You know, I've never gone this particular direction, but you know, just have to develop these ideas. These is ways that we teach. Okay, so Phil G said, if you go religious text, then Shem was black. I forgot the book, but it's a Jewish text. Are you talking about the Torah, or are you talking about the that's actually a group of books. What do they call that again? That's really what the Jews believe in too. So you say here, I recall on Phil Donahue, and they tried to mix his words up, calling them a gutter religion. He just leave those. I mean, look, he's got some problematic state. The Talmud, yeah, that's the text. Thanks for that, King Math. But so, are you talking when you say this religious text for the Jewish? You talking about the Torah or the Talmud? You said you got a clip about land. He said no support for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad because it wasn't highly publicized. Yeah, well, how did that manage to happen? I don't how did that how you talking about Elijah Muhammad here? How did like the word not get out? And I'm saying like even since then. Robbie King Math, 793rd. Yeah, I mean, I can't. That is uncanny to me. Double S said, at the end of the day, those Israelites occupying that land know they don't belong there. I mean, see, here's the problem for me, man. These are all different topics. They kind of different topics. Like, just the topic of, you saying, when they came to the land, how they came to the land, what their claim to the land is it legitimate? All of these things is kind of separate from the fighting that they doing. See, they're all savages, God. I don't care what they're all savages. See, justice is supposed to be proportionate. See, how you serve justice says more about you than it says about what happened. See, you might slap one person in the face, right? And they just turn the other cheek. They don't say nothing. You know, you slap another person in the face, they might go to the police. You slap another person in the face, they might slap you right back. You slap another person in the face, they might hit you with a 15 piece. You slap another person in the face, they might go get a gun, come back and blow your head off. All those responses says something about the person. So these things what you're saying, whatever side you fall on, whoever side you on, but see now you're savage. And see, once you savage, now I got to stay over here. You see what I'm saying? Because you don't know how these savage people's gonna act and react. See, that's why Musa need fire. So, that's why I ain't falling on no side with that. Because they're all savages. Phil G said, I heard Farrakhan said his father was possibly a Jew. We actually had that, hold on for a second. We pulled up an article. We had this article right here pulled up earlier. Farrakhan claims his father may have been a Jew. Said, how come Farrakhan hasn't gotten a street in Chicago named after his teacher? That was another thing that was shocking to me, was that was the first street in America, and I guess by extension, the world, that was named after Elijah Muhammad. The original Mr. 120 said to me, the Arabs and Jews are the same people with different religion. I mean, we might even question if it's a different religion. I mean, see, this is very, we're starting to reach back into a topic now. I don't know if y'all, but see, everybody was writing their own history at one time. See, just like back in the day, just like yesterday when we was talking, right? And I was building with the brethren, I said, everybody had their own time until the Christians took over and imposed their calculation of time, right? They just sat down and said, okay, this is BC and this is AD. Because we recognize this person right here, right? Just as 5%, we recognize what everybody else is saying is 1964 as the year one. Right? Hold on for a second. Let me get that link for you right now. Right? We recognize that as the year one. You see, it's not just the dates. It's not just the dates that everybody have on their own. It's all the stuff that happens in the history. So see, everybody, you got these people saying, look, they got the holy name over here. These people got the holy name over there. Those people got the holy name over there. Right? Everybody was writing their own history. And see, these people right here, they impose their history on everybody else. So, once upon a time, each tribe, each group of people, they had their own God. They had their own history of how that, whatever, religious, whatever they think, they was writing their own history. To the point where, see when you got David and Goliath, the reason why it didn't seem ridiculous in that story for you to put, David, who's a boy, against Goliath is because in their minds, when we fight, this is our guys is fighting for against each other. And if our God is more powerful than your God, and we've been paying the right homage to him, then we're gonna win. So a lot of this stuff is just, but one thing I did, when you deal with these names, right? I was reading something one time that said that at least in the English translation, right? A lot of these words have the I sound in it. Like God, Shiva, Buddha, Ra, Allah got it 2 times. I don't know what it means. I don't, but sound means something. But at any rate, to bring that all full circle, right? That's what we dealing with in the knowledge degree in the 140, right? Where we writing our own history right now. See, like when people come here, right? People just passing by, right? You got people from other countries or whatever, and they pass by, they taking pictures and everything, and they like, is this a mosque? They nah, it's not a mosque. But yeah, when we see it says Mecca right there. It says Allah, it says Mecca. Now see what I do, maybe that's, but look, I just show them, everybody that's been to the school, that right there on the window in the corner, there's a picture of Allah. So when they say, yeah, but it says Allah and it says Mecca right there, I say, yeah, see, that's Allah right there, and Harlem is Mecca. See, I ain't like y'all. I don't proselytize. I ain't explain all that to them. I just told you what it is. But this is our history that we write. So when other people come, that happens a lot of times where you're trying to impose your idea of who and what God is on me. Like, because you think God is a magical white man that lives in the sky, right? Then you look at me as inadequate to that dream that you got in your head. But you going on that history that somebody else wrote that you never experienced. You never saw no sea getting parted. You never saw no building getting built to the sky, getting knocked down. You never saw none of that. So see, that's where it becomes religion, because this is not your history. This is not what you just believe in something that you ain't seen. Chesedek said the history of the Sephardic Jews is very interesting within the context of the Spanish Inquisition. So what do you mean by that? I mean, I know they're unique within the Jewish world. You know what I mean? I'm saying that, uh, you know, I don't want to, when Don Bishop looks at this, we got Phil G here, don't jump on my back here, but the Jews, right? The people that's calling themselves the Jews right now, right? They pick up a lot, they don't assimilate a lot into society, but they assimilate a lot from the societies that they live in. So the Ashkenazi Jews assimilated a lot of European ideas. Like even the different sects, the different groups of Jews, like, you got some basic, you got the Sephardic and the Mizrahi and the Ashkenazi, but once you start getting into conservative and ultra orthodox and all these different units, that's only the Ashkenazi, from what I understand. Because during the time they was in Europe, Christianity was splitting up. You see what I'm saying? And you started getting all of these different, Protestant, Baptist, Anglican, et cetera, et cetera. But what did you mean though when you said that? Double Edge says it's all being documented as we speak. Now they hold information, words, photos in the cloud, as they call it, instead of stone or papyrus. Okay, now I tell you, you new to the channel, Double Edge, but you got to, because see, thoughts is going so quick in and out of my head that sometimes, I don't. You got to connect back to whatever we was talking about. Phil G says, so what qualifies one as Semitic and how useful is that land? Okay, now, to my knowledge, this term was popularized by Germany, that anti-Semitic kind of comes out of Germany in that era. You know what I'm saying? Exactly what is the definition of Semitic? You understand what I mean? I mean, now, I know, the origin is, descendants of Shem, right? But, what is the literal definition of Semitic? The original Mr. 120 said the Mizrahi are also very orthodox since they never left Israel. So Melchizedek said they occupied the Iberian Peninsula many were sent to Cape Verde or Cabo Verde. They are Semitic peoples. As opposed to, are you saying the Ashkenazi are not Semitic people? Because this is what goes into the crux of what Phil G is saying here. Just in terms of, Farrakhan is going to win that $5 billion. He got to squash the guys off with a couple, because look, we ain't even got to go back into that history, but look, you got to squash this off. Get that, at least a couple $100 million. So Phil G said it's relating to or denoting a family of languages that includes Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian. So it's a language classification in no reality. Phil G said constituting the main subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. So is it a language family or a lineage? Because, you kind of losing the case for Farrakhan here. If it's a language family and someone is a native speaker of that language, and you're saying you're defaming them, let me see something. Phil G said this just states the original languages of the Afro-Asiatics. I understand that. I'm just saying that, this does not prove, right, that that these people are not Semitic. Melchizedek said they were grafted on the Isthmus of Greece, which is 6,000 islands from the original people. We're being exposed to some. Let me put the link in here because we're being exposed to some interesting You said the case is to prove Farrakhan is Semitic. No, the case is to prove Farrakhan is not anti-Semitic. He's saying that the Anti-Defamation League has been defaming him by categorizing him as anti-Semitic. So I'm not sure if him being Semitic necessarily is going to prove that he's not anti-Semitic. Because, we got some black people that's, they anti-black. So, in the meantime, what I'm saying is that Farrakhan has a great many statements out there that the ADL is going to be bringing up in their defense. See, to me, it's just one of the things, man, where at least for me, I'm just saying during the time that I had the knowledge, and it's been a minute now. It's been a minute. It's not like, a sneeze or something. But listen, this is going. Like the Farrakhan that I remember from the mid 80s, I'm saying. The Farrakhan that I remember from the mid 80s, to now, you suing people for defamation. Like that's like, certain gangsters, if something happened to them and they went to the police, like, I would never expected that. And it's just been a great many things that I can't explain why Farrakhan did that. He's got to be the one to explain it, but from what I know of Elijah's teachings, these things seem odd. So Phil G said, I think the term he's used is Jew or Jewish, which does not directly correlate to Semitic if the basis is language, because they're not the only ones who spoke the language. He said Farrakhan learning how to sue people for the Scientologists. Hey man, baby, who knows, man? So the term he used is Jew or Jewish, but those Jew or Jewish people are going to say that they speak Hebrew. So Double Edge said the case is going to be about his so-called anti-Semitic statements, which I think he's going to bring to the case that what he said is true, considering what's happening now. So, I mean, see, I just don't think this is mainstream. Uh, this is accepted in the mainstream. Phil G said he could speak Arabic. I mean, him speaking Arabic, I don't know if that, you can still be, you know, anti-Semitic and be Semitic, I think. That said Farrakhan is suing because it's saying they tried to stop people from gravitating to him throughout the years. Now you stop people from gravitating to you on your own. So so what is he? Okay, now I'm seeing where some money. I'm seeing where some money can come from now. So and we in the land of speculation here. But so Farrakhan, I guess, is saying that how did you get in here? But I guess Farrakhan is saying this, that by them labeling him anti-Semitic, right, that they scared certain people away from becoming NOI. And then Farrakhan would have had them selling papers and paying dues. And so they cost him the opportunity cost, right, of them saying that he's an anti-Semite, stopped him from blessed second poor. I don't know if that's his point, but I can see that angle now. Busted. Matter of fact, hold on.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, brother. I got you.
Okay, so hold on. We got I don't know what this is about, but I like to tell people stuff to their face. Melchizedek said, I saw in 95 a lot of 50s and 100s in those baskets and bags between a million men, and no toilet paper is being produced. That's a low blow right there, Melchizedek. That's a low blow. You had to, you can sit all the rest of that line out, man. See, you make Farrakhan would fight you down, man. But you said, and no toilet paper is being produced. Atonement was not a 3 year, what you said, was not a 3 year $1 a day program. I'm just looking at the facts. Double Edge said, I was there, I seen it. Ah, man, Melchizedek, man. You had it in the Y after me, man, for saying something like that. Oh, man. But I mean, it's a it's a it's a it's a it's a I don't have a comeback. I have no idea what you had. You know, like I said, we'll see what that's about. But me personally, I don't think he got a lot of chance of winning. I gotta tell you, I've heard the things he said. Now what I've seen him present so far as a defense is that he never really made any anti-Semitic remarks. That in reality, all of this has been about, some of the younger brothers on here might don't remember, right? And maybe if you're not familiar, it was a big thing in New York, right? Is that when Jesse Jackson was running for president, he said something about the Heimies in Town. And by that, he meant the Jews in New York City. And, he got quite a bit of smoke about that. And, Farrakhan was like, yeah, what? You know what I'm saying? This one man right here, Jesse Jack, this how we rock. This how we what? You know how y'all get down, you know how we get down. And so he's saying that because he stood with Jesse Jackson after he made that statement, that in reality, he's been mischaracterized as an anti-Semite. That being said, you have your own statements. That just in this, like I said, in this modern world, the way how things go, with this new political correctness, I don't know. Double S said they got on Jesse Jackson, Nelson Mandela, Kyrie, Nick Cannon, and anybody who speaks out. I mean, I don't know if those statements is on the same level, with some of the stuff that Farrakhan said. But I mean, that's a point. Chesedek said he does not stand a good chance of winning in their realm of power. And that's, one of the things that I'm saying is that you said, isn't that imposing on freedom of speech? I mean, that's what the ADL is going to say. You said what you said, and we said what we said. So that's my point of saying, like, yeah, you out here suing people now. It's like, come on. That's like we have a fist fight and you press charges. Like we agreed to fight. We went around the corner to fight. You know what I'm saying? Not like I just walked up and punched you in the face and we start scrapping. We went around the corner to fight and then you press charges. He said he's trying to make up for dropping the bag with Gaddafi. This is his last Hail Mary before he returns. He's trying to make sure the nation is in good order. No, you can't make up for that. Not like this. If that's ultimately what you're trying to do, you trying to save the Nation of Islam with this $5 billion, then that's the last straw. That's the last straw. That's the last straw. For me, that's the last straw. That's the last straw. Devil Edge say he think it's bigger than that. I mean, look, I don't know. How is Farrakhan now? Like 90? Like the last times that I've heard Farrakhan speak, it wasn't the same kind of fiery. It was kind of, just a, you know, cranky older brother that was just giving people a piece of his mind. It wasn't the same. Chesedek say kind of reminds me of Malcolm crying on CBS Records, his hit song Elijah abused the children in a twisted kind of way. Does the ADL get the final call? I mean, I'm pretty sure they listening. But there's some things, like for instance, right? Did y'all know that the SCLC, what is it? The SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, has us classified as a hate group. Is it true Malcolm and Martin was coming together to file charges against the U.S. for reparations for slavery? And I don't know nothing about that. for me, look, people keep trying to dissect that time. There's nothing. You're not going to learn no fact about that time that's going to change nothing now. Not no, stuff like that. That stuff that didn't even happen. Who knows? But so we got any last questions for the day? I need to go make some attempt at catching the supermarket or something. Make an attempt at catching the supermarket. You know what too? Wait a minute. We didn't go through that dietary law. Remember, this says migrants living in the homeless shelters on LA Skid Row are being hired to replace striking hotel workers. Well, shout out to my guy Phil for that Cash App donation. I'll be sending you your real estate investment materials. I'll be sending that in the mail forthwith. But remember the Queen came on yesterday and said that the brother had some kind of fasting, some kind of guide to fasting. I don't even. Well, I don't know what's going on right now. Apparently, since Elon Musk took over Twitter, I haven't logged on. That's my first time trying to log back on. It's some whole process there where they asking me about all types of emails that I haven't even been in a year. So I'll figure that out some other time. Maybe the queen is on here and she can send uh the fasting. She can send the fasting guide somewhere else. So maybe if she sends me the link, I'll probably be able to go straight to that page without logging on. Who knows? But Twitter is not my real forum. Yeah, Phil, no doubt I got that. I tell you, your real estate investment materials. As soon as I leave here, I'm putting them in. I said, I was wondering your thoughts on Tariq Nasheed hip hop documentary. He's giving credit to 5%ers for being essential in starting hip hop. His ultimate point is that it was started by FBA. So what is the part, because I didn't see it. So out of what you commenting on right here, what is the part that see, I don't like getting caught up in that stuff like that, neither. Like I understand what it means and all of that in terms of, but once you start getting into all this bickering, then you lose the point. You see what I'm saying? Because, see, with all that stuff, you walk in a fine line. You see what I'm saying? See, once you got a group of people, right, and you start classifying, right, that's the first step to grafting. See what I'm saying? Even when it tells you, it says inside the black man's body is a black germ, a brown germ. One body. You see, once you start getting into these categorizations, right? Then next, you move into separating. And then once you move into separating, you move into division. You see what I'm saying? Subtraction. And then all you need to do is keep doing that and you graft it. So, ultimately what I see him doing, I may probably agree with his points that he made in here, but ultimately, a lot of that stuff needs to be toned down, especially because, everybody don't have the same degree of understanding. So as you start to, make these separations, because everything goes along with that. You see what I'm saying? You got the separation, the demonization. You understand what I'm saying? These people become negative. It's okay to kill them. And, on some level, not really into all the pan stuff like that, but on some level, you gotta understand that, they exploit these separations, right? And expedite the division. I'm talking about the history of our interaction with them. Right? If you study in these lessons, right, you see that they exploit these separations. Right. Melchizedek is saying that's one, male and female, once we got separate goals in life, we interfacing with the matrix through separate ways, right? Now they can cause division between that and cause a whole other degree of separation. So, stuff like that, Tariq Nasheed, it is, it's entertaining. I check it out. You know what I'm saying? But, ultimately you got to be able to separate out these different worlds. You understand what I mean? So in the political world, look, it's every man for himself. Every group of people that, what they call it, that what the people lobby for, that segment of the population is done for themselves. But see, it's easy for me to separate it because I understand the heavens above and the earth below. So see, there's people that, they my brothers in the heavens above. But see, down here on the earth, I don't fuck with them. So there's that part. West Coast said, what do you think Elijah would say about the current NOI since you talked to him before about our seating arrangements? I mean, I think there's some people that have been doing a thing, right, that, he would be proud of. But I think in general, I just use his words, not verbatim, but I saw one time on, it was like Face the Nation or Meet the Press. And it's like 1971, something like that. It's the early 70s. And the interviewer says to Elijah Muhammad, you've been doing your thing here for a long time. You know what I'm saying? You're getting a little older, and we noticed that you haven't appointed a successor. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to take over the nation after you, after you pass away? And he said that, when I'm gone, they're not going to need no leader. That after what I've taught them, they don't need nobody else to tell them what to do. They're going to just go and do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? Now, look, I wasn't there privy to the personal conversations with them. And, and I didn't meet the people like see with the law. I met the people that walk with them that said, okay, look, this is what I want y'all to do. You know what I'm saying? But I guess, I'm coming from an outside perspective, but I don't think, because you got to remember too, and a lot of that's not Farrakhan's direct fault, but you got to remember there's a lot of stuff that was here when he was here that's not here no more. You got to ask, dude, where the fuck is all my restaurants? Where's all my businesses, man? I mean, I would be wondering that. So, but at the same time, like I said, they doing their thing. So, I don't want to just, uh, totally discount them. You know what I'm saying? They still, they still carry the teachings to that degree. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. He said the NOI started going through it as soon as he returned to the essence when the son was trying to take them into Sunni Islam. I mean, he wasn't trying. Kasim said, I just ate the best dinner I have ever ate from other than my mom's. So where'd you get this? Where'd you get this dinner? Because you can't just drop you gonna drop a little you gonna drop something like that in the comment box and don't even tell us where you got that. Double S said that's what this lawsuit is about. Where's all my businesses and restaurants at? Yeah, but I'm saying if this is how you're trying to do it, right? If this is how you're trying to do it, I don't know. You know, what about he likes the devil because the devil gives him nothing? I mean, and I guess, some of that existed when Elijah was around, but these partnerships that you're making, bro, these partnerships that you're making. Hold on, Phil G. I got to come back to your question because this. let me deal with King Math's statement, and then we're gonna come back to your statement. King Math said they threw them lessons away when Farrakhan was getting them back. Who you go to? I mean, yeah, we was instrumental in helping him put that back together. That's why I said earlier that if he gets that bread, man, you got to squash us off with at least a couple meals there. But Phil G asked right here, this is, you don't know if, and Phil G, I just was looking at my stats. I got 26% female viewership. And it seems like the past 2 days, somebody's just did their best to ruin my Chesapeake said, yes, I cannot take away from the fact that Farrakhan is going off his own program. Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is so Phil G. So Phil G, I take it you missed the first, I guess, hour. Because Phil G said is use land. Yo, Kasim, you better get off the Masonic shit too. Don't think I forgot that. Where did you get that food? And listen, let me ask you a question. Did you just come off a fast? Because people do stuff like that. You just come off a fast, and then you tell us that's the best food you ever ate. Yeah, I bet it was. But Phil G, let's get back. I'm trying to avoid this here, but Phil G said, "Is used land the same as useful land?" That's making me rethink if I should teach my sons to go after virgins only. Okay, now, should we go back? Because we went through the whole lessons here, Phil G. We went through all the lessons in a week. But let's just, let's start and see if you see the difference is who's doing the using. See, this right here is my useful land. I use this to carry out my ideas. See what I'm saying? I eat the right foods, I work out, I study, all of these things, right? To keep my useful land fertile so that it can produce. That's different from you being used as a tool and also a slave by a 10%. Whoever, that don't necessarily just mean the colored man or the government. See, that's the difference between being useful land and being used land. And see, with our situation right here, where we took it from is we went through the degrees, showing from how in the wisdom culture degree in the 140, starting from the idea that Yaqub already gave these people, right? Who was his followers, right? And the way they executed that idea, right? By making them blind, deaf, and dumb when they were babies. And then we took it to the 114, right? Where he keeps them illiterate, right? He keeps them blind to themselves so that he can use them. And then we took that to the actual facts, right? Where we deal with the deserts covering 14 million square miles, which is the 14 with the 6 ciphers, right? And we took that to the 140, who is the 85%. And then we brought it all back full circle to what are the exact square miles of useful land that's used every day by the total population of the planet Earth. So now here's where you're asking yourself the question. You know, are you useful or are you used? Phil G said easily led. So you evidently you picked up what I was putting down there. That they're just used land. See what I'm saying? Like the brother who was saying earlier, when he was saying that the used land, that's the poor part. Because we already used it for what it's good for. You know, the worst part is useless to us. But I'll let him draw that up. That was his science. Melchizedek said, is there a Patreon? I got a Patreon, but I need to put stuff in there, but I haven't been. That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm take all this stuff off of there and put it on Patreon. So where we at? Because we getting down to crunch time. The supermarket closes at 10 o'clock. So we down to crunch time right now. We got any last we got any last questions here? No, Chedrick said $40 a month is justice. I mean, listen, you know, uh, that's kind of hefty for that's kind of hefty for a YouTube channel. I mean, if you feel that strongly about my teachings, though, I you said, is there also such a thing as useful water? This is an odd question, but interesting. See, again, the point here would be, what do you want to use it for, right? So, there's some things there. Now, look, you can't drink salt water. You can't quench your thirst with it. I mean, you can physically swallow it. But see, now you just hit something else right there. That's what I'm saying. You can't drink the salt water, but we eat things that come out. So I'm not sure there's like, what would be the worst part of water? I would say all water is useful. That concept really doesn't extend into water. Just said, my first thought at the title of used land, I thought of a promiscuous woman and how some brothers make the mistake of planting a seed in used land. I'm just trying to keep my channel here, Jess. I don't know which I'm just trying to keep my channel and not get attacked by the female gods of the universe. And here you go, starting trouble. You see, it's just showing you. See, it's just showing you that when we build on wisdom, right? We don't necessarily have to be talking about the women. You understand what I'm saying? When we build on wisdom, we don't, but look, Jess, I mean, you took it there. You took it there, you know, the math is I can't change it. Phil G said every 5% in the chat needs to donate at least $5 every time they see the God go live. Black power refinement is economics. There is something to that in terms of not necessarily just for me, but I'm talking about in general. in our, even with our family, but with our communities, with the world, just in terms of, you know, we spend money on a lot of things, you know what I'm saying? Not just money, we spend our energy, we spend our attention and all these things on a lot of things that we don't want to see. You know what I'm saying? That's ultimately not beneficial to us. You see what I'm saying? And so when you look at it and you say, okay, well, how can you be successful in all your overtakings, right? Why was Yakub so successful in all his undertakings? But how can you be successful in all your overtakings? See, you can't be dealing with all these things that's outside of what you really. You see, that's why if you notice a lot of things that I don't like, I don't have a lot of information on it because I don't go looking for things about this thing to dislike. Like if I don't like a person, I don't know what they're doing because I don't go around them. Kasim said, how much does it truly matter if one has knowledge, wisdom, and understanding with no roots? How you mean with that? Just said I was trying not to be controversial, but I do know some good single mothers though. Shout out to them. Yeah, shout out to them. Now that particular fact right there, right, of them being a single mother does not separate them from being useful land and used land though. Like, that's not necessarily in the criteria. Kasim says here, who do you shop with? I mean, see, this is the thing. See, with a lot, like, look, remember, this is a couple years ago now, when the lady who, the comedian who she wanted everybody to boycott uh, Netflix because they wasn't giving her the uh, they wasn't giving her the contract that she wanted. And see, that was the thing. It's like, yo, at the end of the day, I don't got Netflix. I've been boycotting Netflix since the inception of Netflix. Like there's not really, at the end of the day, we're in a situation where all the resources is controlled. Right? That's capitalism doesn't work unless the resources is controlled so they can be made scarce. Right? You either gotta control the supply or the demand. It's easier to control the uh the supply. You know what I mean? So there's things that you're gonna have to do, but I'm careful not to make the first thing that I do, right, is create some more rich colored people. You see what I'm saying? Like, my son, I try to tell him that. You know what I'm saying? But that's one of the first things he goes out and gets a BMW. Nice joint, but there's other things you should have handled first, in mind. But he at the age where look, you gotta do what you gotta do. You understand what I'm saying? You have to choose to be a 5%. I don't care if you was born in it or not. You gotta choose for yourself the best part. He said, can you draw that up in a mental example, like being used by a so-called friend? How would one avoid being misused when love and loyalty is present? Okay, now there's a question here now before it's hard for me to answer, right? How does used, right? A person, somebody in a situation, right? There's two people, right? You put friend in parentheses, right? These people are friends, right? One person is using the other, right? How is love and loyalty present? Like, how do love, loyalty, and using occupy the same space at the same time? See, I think that's where that's where the the issue might be there. But see, in this case, right, I would say we went through all these degrees. I would say you got to go back to the 140. Where it says, what was his idea of making the devil? Like, what was this other person's idea of being around you? How y'all met? He said the one being used is shrouded by love and loyalty. So you mean they're blind, deaf, and dumb? In that situation, they're blind, deaf, and dumb. Well, they can't be blind, deaf, and dumb. Listen, they got to see things for what they really are and not what they appear to be. You know what I'm saying? But look, you gotta look at this, Phil. You gotta look at this, Phil. This is the reality, right? If they blind, deaf, and dumb, right? Where does that lead to? As we continue to go down, right? That's 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, right? What's 29? And then 136. 29 and 30, by the way. King Map said, did you receive more gold? No, the trader disappeared. The TRAITOR disappeared and no one was speaking their language. That's what happened to this person that you're talking about, right? They got used by their friends because they was, would you say, shrouded by love and loyalty. See, that's what, look, mathematics, if you remember in mathematics, right, the first thing you learn is how to count. That's a pattern. Then when the next things you learn, right, remember they give you to say, look, 2, 4, 6, 8. Now what comes next? See, this is how you supposed to be using mathematics. This is how you supposed to be. You see what the pattern is. You know what I'm saying? See, sometimes you just be in denial. You know what the answer to that question was, but you wanted to see. You wanted to see if I could finesse a way where it can be all right. Nah, can't do it. But at any rate, I got 25 minutes right now to make it to the supermarket. You know what I'm saying? You know, everybody who, you hit the Cash App, just put your name right there in the comment and your platinum package, your platinum package of sovereignty papers and real estate investment materials will be on the way. Now, if you need the tickets to the mothership, put that in the comment section so I can know. Other than that, everybody do the each one teach one, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I'm going to sign off and say peace.